Second day of session now, and I'm the first cab off the rank. But before I start, I would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners and custodians of the land we now have this meeting today, the Gadigan clan of the Ora Nation, and I pay my respect to the elders past, present, as well as emerging leaders. I extend this respect to the Aborigine and Torres Strait Islanders people if they are here today. I would acknowledge also our Prime Minister and Ministers of State here, and any Australian ministers or vice ministers from the Australian government. It is my distinct honour to address you today under the theme of PNG Petroleum Industry Outlook. And before I go there, it'd be remiss to me if I did not acknowledge the organisers of this conference, in particular PNG Core and its president, Anthony Smurray, for creating this platform that fosters meaningful dialogue about Papua New Guinea's investment potential, and more particularly in the petroleum sector in Papua New Guinea. I think my department secretary has already provided the industry statistics and updates of the various projects in the sector on Sunday in this forum. My focus today will be only on policy reforms and the upcoming initiatives of the government to drive investments in the petroleum sector in the short to medium term. A little bit of background and context. In October of this year, during the National Petroleum Energy Conference in Port Moresby, I presented a report card on Papua New Guinea petroleum industry. In that presentation, I highlighted the sector's achievements, its challenges, and our roadmap to reform and make this industry become transformation. Central to this discussion was the need to strike a critical balance between ensuring certainty for investors in the petroleum sector while maximizing the benefits of our resource wealth for the people of Papua New Guinea. This balance is not just desirable, but it's very essential to Papua New Guinea. When we get it right, it creates a win-win scenario where industry players will operate with stability and predictability, while the people of Papua New Guinea will enjoy tangible benefits to their resources. This is the foundational principle guiding the policy reform that this government of Marape Rosa is committed to implementing in the petroleum sector. Now, we're working through global and domestic industry outlook, so there's a lot of shifting sand. So globally, as you know, the petroleum industry is navigating a very complex landscape, characterized by energy transitions and geopolitical uncertainties. Also including that is fluctuating demands in the resource sector. For Papua New Guinea, this presents both a challenge and also opportunities available to the country. As you know, PNG is blessed with vast resource potentials, which remains attractive to investors all around the globe. However, to maintain this attractiveness, we must adopt a global dynamics by offering competitive and sustainable investment frameworks. Domestically, the petroleum sector remains the cornerstone of Papua New Guinea economy. Projects such as Papuan LNG, Penyang, and Pasca illustrate our immense potential in PNG. However, they also underscore the importance of efficient execution and stakeholder alignment to sustain growth and unlock further development and the potentials in those resources. Now, what are the key government policy and initiatives that we are looking in the near term? As part of our broader agenda to modernize the petroleum sector, the two policy initiatives that has been undertaken and taking center stage by this government. Firstly is the establishment of the National Petroleum Authority. This body will aim to enhance governance, accountability, and operational efficiency in the regulation and administration of the petroleum sector. Secondly, the introduction of a world-class production sharing agreement or framework. This will refine the way PNG manages its resources, ensuring both fair return for the investors and a timely realization of the benefits for the people of Papua New Guinea. Now, let me talk a little bit about National Petroleum Authority. The establishment of the National Petroleum Authority is a very cornerstone reform in PNG. And I am pleased to report that the draft National Petroleum Bill has been approved by Cabinet and will be presented to the Parliament in the March 2025 sitting. The National Petroleum Authority will serve as an independent regulator tasked with, amongst other things, overseeing the petroleum licensing. They will also be tasked with ensuring compliance by investors in PNG. We will also streamlining, the National Petroleum Authority will have the task of streamlining approvals and also administering contractual agreements. As you know, the production sharing agreements around the world needs a lot of management of that, and we need to employ multitask and world-class technocrats. We have to get those people on board, and the only way we can do it is by funding the National Petroleum Authority properly. Therefore, the National Petroleum Authority will be funded through an administrative levy, ensuring that operational sustainability without violating existing contractual obligations. We know a lot of operators, or there's about 2 operators in the country now that have fiscal stability clauses, and we won't try to breach those. About the production sharing agreements, that's another transformation initiative, is the introduction of the production sharing regime to be in place before the 50th anniversary next year. As you know, the current Oil and Gas Act was developed over 25 years ago. While it has served its purpose, we acknowledge that time has come for a review to ensure that it serves the best interest of both the investors and the people of PNG, reflecting the changes in the change of circumstances right across the globe. This approach will ensure the state secures early revenue from each petroleum project, while providing certainty and competitive returns for the investors. Detailed stakeholder consultation in this process will commence in mid-January of 2025. Key features of the Petroleum Sharing Agreement framework will include, firstly, a standardized petroleum sharing contract will be in place. A uniform contract that ensures transparency and predictability for all stakeholders, including the government. State participation is a very important part of the production sharing contract. The state will be a direct party to every production sharing contract, ensuring that its share of production is provided. Secondly, competitive bidding will be also on the table. Exploration blocks will be awarded through transparent bidding process, fostering competition. And thirdly, state ownership of assets. Infrastructure development for petroleum production will remain state-owned, reflecting global best practices. Within this framework, the state will receive its share of production early, either as royalty or a portion of the production, or both. Contractors will recover costs under a clear and fair regime. Profits from the petroleum will be shared equitably between the state and the contractors. Contractors will pay taxes on their assessable income, ensuring the regime's fairness and sustainability. This framework is designed to provide clarity and confidence to both investors and the state, ensuring that a mutual beneficial relationship exists in Papua New Guinea. Certainty and confidence for investors. That's an important aspect of the production sharing regime. We want to ensure, as a government, for investors, their certainty is paramount to their investment in PNG. Whether it is predictability of production shares, cost recovery mechanisms, or taxation frameworks, the production sharing regime is designed to provide the necessary specification and transparency to foster confidence and drive investment in PNG. I cannot stress that more importantly. We want to make sure there's a confidence, and we also want to drive investment because we know, as a government, we're all chasing the same dollars that all the other countries around our region are looking for. At the same time, the state is assured of its share of production, enabling it to meet fiscal obligations, develop infrastructure, and deliver critical services to our people, like bridges, roads, and schools. Capacity building for an effective administration is quite important. We recognize that implementing the production sharing framework requires high level of expertise, which I mentioned earlier. Building this capacity is a priority, and we are committed to equipping our institution and therefore converting the Department of Petroleum into an authority with skilled professionals to administer this regime change effectively. Vision for the future. I want to cover that a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, Papua New Guinea is at a turning point. With the establishment of the National Petroleum Authority and the introduction of a world-class production sharing regime, we are laying the foundation for a petroleum sector that drives economic growth while ensuring that the people of PNG share in the prosperity of their resource wealth. Our vision is clear as a government: a transparent, efficient, and equitable production sector that fosters partnership, attracts investment, and delivers tangible benefit for our citizens. In closing, as we embark on this transformation journey, I invite you all to be partners in shaping the future of Papua New Guinea petroleum sector. Together, we can create an environment where investment thrive, resources are developed responsibly, and the benefit of resource wealth are felt by all of us. Thank you, and I wish you all an informative and productive conference. And I wish you all a Merry Christmas if I don't see you again, and also a prosperous New Year. Thank you very much.